NASCAR's West Coast future is still far from certain. Bubba Wallace chimes in on the Almirola and Bowman finish, and I've got power rankings for y'all after Phoenix. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric, the self-proclaimed biggest Matt Kenseth fan on the internet, and this is Out of the Groove. I hope you'll all join me in wishing Matt Kenseth a happy birthday. Are you having a good birthday so far? He's a little stiff. I saw a photo this past weekend, Matt Kenseth celebrating with his biggest fan, second biggest fan. Hey, Legacy Motor Club, couple of top 20 finishes in the desert, not too bad. Had to bring out the Hall of Fame shirt for this special occasion. Anyway, we've got some actual news to get to, plus power rankings coming up in the second half. Hope you'll stay tuned. NASCAR is out west for a couple of weeks, leading to questions about the dormant Club Speedway short track project in Fontana, California. The LA Times published a story today with comments from NASCAR West Region President Dave Allen. I'll link the full story down in the description below, but I wanted to share a couple of interesting quotes with you here. Allen told the LA Times, quote, "The market is extremely important to NASCAR, so we're not abandoning the market. What we don't have is a firm timeline yet. There's some things within the sport that need to get sorted before we can make some strategic decisions as it relates to what we're going to build." The final race at the large 2-mile Club Speedway configuration took place 2 years ago. Afterwards, NASCAR sold much of that land for upwards of $500 million. Much of that space has since been redeveloped, warehouses built on the property, but NASCAR kept some of the land. The parts of the main grandstands, front straightaway, and pit road are still standing. Public record shows that NASCAR has a plan to build a half-mile short track on the remaining Club Speedway property. But obviously, little to no progress has been made the past couple of years. Dave Allen again told the LA Times, quote, "The plan is to be there at Auto Club, but if opportunities come up, we're open to anything. If you had 300 acres and wanted to build a racetrack and be a partner with us, then we would listen. We're kind of just in a holding pattern." So this is kind of an update, kind of a non-update. That last quote was interesting. Sounds a lot like, when other sports owners want to build a new stadium. They want to partner with the city. They want incentives. Large ownership groups may be able to move a project along. It's extremely expensive to build and operate a massive racetrack facility, especially in Southern California. Club Speedway, Irwindale, it's just the unfortunate reality. Whether it's Auto Club or something else, I do hope NASCAR is able to get back into the Southern California market. There's no race on the schedule this year. That's disappointing. I get that it's a difficult market to crack. There are a ton of people living in Southern California, but it's also an extremely competitive sports and entertainment landscape. Just on the sports side, forget about Hollywood. You're competing with the Dodgers, the Lakers, the Rams. From Shohei to LeBron to Luka, Lincoln Riley has taken a back seat since Caleb Williams left. You gotta compete with LA traffic. It's a land of opportunity, but it's also extremely competitive. Shoot, NASCAR brought the Cup Series to the heart of the city, the LA Memorial Coliseum, and the stands were mostly full, but it wasn't packed, and 3 years later, it kind of run its course. I know there were Long Beach NASCAR rumors a while back. San Diego Street Course has been brought up, maybe could replace the Chicago slot on the schedule next season. Whatever the case may be, even if NASCAR doesn't race in LA every year, maybe they build a temporary street circuit every other summer. Whatever the case may be, I do hope NASCAR is able to find its footing in Los Angeles. Fox Sports is based there. It's a huge media market, a huge opportunity. Hopefully NASCAR continues to take shots. I'm growing more and more skeptical by the day that the future lies at Club Speedway, but whatever the case, I hope NASCAR is somehow able to find its footing. Now, before we get to my latest power rankings, something got my attention this weekend. When I think of the most sponsor-friendly, family-friendly, winning smile, got it all put together drivers of the past decade plus, I immediately picture Eric Almirola. Clean cut, years of loyal sponsor support from Smithfield, retired from full-time racing to spend more time with his kids. Now when he does race, his kids, his family are right there to celebrate with him. You want to talk about a squeaky clean public image, there it is. But recently, things have gotten a little muddier. Remember, Eric Almirola was suspended by Joe Gibbs Racing for months last season after reportedly he instigated a physical altercation with Bubba Wallace during a Toyota team meeting. Almirola was temporarily yanked from the seat, missed a few scheduled starts, got back in the car second half of the season, won races, was competitive. Obviously, he's back for 2025. And that brings me to this past weekend at Phoenix. Last lap, Alex Bowman gives Almirola plenty of space heading into the final two corners. Almirola takes all of it. And then some, ultimately wedges Bowman into the wall to win the race. Oh, he just got loose. Well, yeah, because he intentionally overdrove the corner. He admitted it afterwards.
I knew I was going to use them up a little bit. I just throttled up. I knew it was going to be a drag race to the start-finish line, so.
Hey, a win is a win. You got to do what you got to do. But if I'm the rest of the Xfinity Series field, I'm taking note of how Almirola raced Bowman. I'd consider what Almirola did borderline at best. He showed he's willing to get physical. He's willing to rough somebody up if it means he can win the race. If he's willing to use somebody up, he better expect it in return. That's my take. To tie all of this together, Bubba Wallace, Almirola's Toyota teammate, appeared to defend Almirola on Twitter, but there's another way perhaps to interpret this post. Y'all acting like the 17 got sucker punched. Well, now we may have a little clearer picture as to what happened during that team meeting last summer. Anyway, all that is to say, I doubt we'll see Eric Almirola play the heel. Shoot, his primary sponsor is Young Life. He's there to spread the good word, be a beacon of positivity. But I just find it interesting that as squeaky clean as his public image tends to be, underneath we know there's a rougher, more aggressive version of Eric Almirola that he seems reluctant to publicly embrace. Just an interesting character study, in my opinion. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that Bubba Wallace tweet. I wanted to tie it into something a little bigger. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you make of that Xfinity Series finish? Do you think Eric Almirola crossed the line? Was it borderline? What do you think? Let's talk power rankings. First non-drafting, non-road course race of the season. I think we learned a whole lot. Today I'm going to rank the top 10 fastest overall drivers and teams in the NASCAR Cup Series right now. Let's go. 2 honorable mentions. Josh Berry qualified 4th. Bad pit stop sent him to the rear, drove back to a 4th place finish. This was the first top 5 for the Wood brothers at a non-drafting track since 2022 Indy Road Course. Been nearly 3 years. Well done. Second honorable mention, Bubba Wallace. Was running top 10 when his brakes exploded. The speed has been good to start the year. Top 5 at Bowman Gray, won a Daytona Duel, top 10 at Atlanta, qualified on the front row at Coda, but I need the finishes to match the performance. Fortunately, Bubba Wallace has earned the 4th most stage points thus far. That's keeping him in the mix as far as the regular season point standings. All right, honorable mentions over. Let's talk about number 10, Denny Hamlin. I fully expect Denny Hamlin to move up this list, much like he moved up through the field on Sunday. Qualified 10th, slowly worked his way towards the front, had the 4th best average running position at Phoenix. Once he finally got clean air, he seemed to be pretty similar to his teammate Christopher Bell, who led the most laps. Big points day for Denny Hamlin. He jumped from 17th to 7th in the regular season standings. I think 10th in the power rankings is the floor for Denny Hamlin this year. I expect him to move forward. I talked earlier about how Bubba Wallace has run well, but not necessarily gotten the finishes. Chris Buescher is the exact opposite. He's earned the 18th most stage points. Not great, 0 laps led, but he's one of only 5 drivers with 3 top 10 finishes so far. Bell, Busch, Byron, and Bowman are the other drivers, and spoiler alert, they're also in my top 10. Like at number 8, Kyle Busch. His 3 top 10s have come back to back to back, 7th at Atlanta, 5th at COTA, 8th at Phoenix. He's up to 8th in the regular season standings. I think this team still has work to do if they're going to contend for wins at the traditional ovals, but they have to be fairly pleased with his solid start to the year. Right now, Kyle Busch is on pace to nearly triple his top 10 total from last season. He finished 7th at Phoenix. He's 7th on my power rankings. Alex Bowman. Y'all know that was only Alex Bowman's 2nd top 10 finish at Phoenix Raceway since joining Hendrick Motorsports full time. Phoenix has not been too kind to driver 48, but he looked pretty good on Sunday. Doesn't surprise me at all. I talked about it in the offseason. He finished 2024 very solid, was an unfortunate DQ away from making it to the round of 8. He's picked up right where he left off to start 2025. Cool, calm, consistent, 6th in points, sounds about right. Alex Bowman 7th on my power rankings. His teammate Chase Elliott grabs the 6th spot. He finished 10th at Phoenix, but that was really his peak of the day. His average running position was around 13th. It was a good, not great day for Chase Elliott. It looked a lot like 2024. His teammate William Byron led a bunch of laps, Kyle Larson finished top 5, and there's Chase Elliott, 10th. Good result, but Hendrick Motorsports expects greatness from this former champion. He won Bowman Gray, rallied to finish top 5 at COTA. I'm still optimistic about Chase Elliott, but Phoenix was slightly concerning. I still have Tyler Reddick in position number 5. I know he finished 20th, but without that power steering failure, which as Mike Joy said on the broadcast is a NASCAR issue, not a team issue, he probably finishes top 5. Shoot, despite losing all that track position late, Reddick still had an average running position of around 6th for the whole day. Before the unlucky parts failure, Reddick was likely headed for his 3rd top 5 finish of the year. He's top 5 in points, he's top 5 in my power rankings. Kyle Larson is one of only 4 drivers with multiple top 5s to start the year. He kind of surprised us at Phoenix, looked to have like a 10th place car most of the day, only earned 3 stage points, but lo and behold, final restart, there he is in the picture. Chance to win. Look at the tracks coming up. Vegas, Homestead. Kyle Larson has won 2 of the last 3 Vegas races and led over 300 combined laps in those events. Yeah, Kyle Larson, 4th on my power rankings. I wasn't quite sure where to put Ryan Blaney. I'm keeping him at 3. Yes, it's disappointing that his impressive top 5 Phoenix streak was snapped due to an engine failure, but he wasn't exactly having an amazing day before that either. He qualified just outside the top 10, earned stage points, probably had a 4th to 7th place car, but for Ryan Blaney at Phoenix, that's an average day. We're used to seeing him 1st, 2nd, 3rd leading laps, and I never got the impression the 12 car was that good on Sunday, even before the engine failure. I thought about dropping Blaney a spot or 2, but then I looked up and he's still top 5 in points despite the engine issue. Spring Vegas has been kind to Team Penske in the past. Let's see what Ryan Blaney can do next week, and I have him in the 3 spot. My top 2 have not changed. William Byron restarted 20th with 36 laps to go at Phoenix, rallied to finish 6th. And it's not like he put on a fresh set of option tires. No, he was on a very similar tire strategy as the leaders. He was just that damn fast at the end. Had the 2nd best average running position all day behind only Christopher Bell. He has a 1st, 2nd, and 6th place finish to start the year and was running 3rd at Atlanta when he crashed. William Byron is off to an extremely strong start that unfortunately has been slightly overshadowed by number 1, Christopher Bell. This has to be the easiest number 1 choice in the 14-month history of the Out of the Groove Power Rankings. 3 wins in the first 4 races, and he was leading at Daytona when he got wrecked. Oh, and we're headed to Las Vegas this weekend, where he led 155 laps just a few months ago. I said it last week, I'll say it again. Christopher Bell has a really good chance of winning 4 straight, or at the very least, 4 of the next 5, because Homestead's coming up. The last Cup Series driver to win 4 straight races was Jimmy Johnson in 2007 at the height of his power. Christopher Bell has a chance to join that exclusive list this weekend at Las Vegas. I think he's got a great shot. He's number 1. There's my top 10 power rankings after Phoenix Raceway. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my placements. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more NASCAR content and commentary all year long. Big thank you to my very generous Patreon supporters. I really appreciate what you guys do for the show. Hope y'all have a great rest of your Monday. I'll talk to you again later this week. Take care, y'all.